You know when you see someone playing a game and suddenly it feels like you're missing out on something huge? That's exactly how I felt when I started watching Asmongold play World of Warcraft. I mean, I'd heard of WoW before, who hasn't? But I never considered actually playing it, until Asmongold made me feel like it was the game I had to try. Let me tell you the story of how I got hooked, and why, if you've never played before, you should definitely give it a shot. So, quick backstory. World of Warcraft is a game that's been around for years, and for most of that time, I thought I was just too late to the party. I had friends who'd played it in the past, I'd seen memes, I'd watched other streamers play it, but it never really clicked. I mean, the idea of a massive multiplayer online role-playing game with hundreds of hours of content just seemed intimidating. But then, Asmongold happened. If you don't know who Asmongold is, he's one of the most iconic streamers in the gaming community, especially when it comes to World of Warcraft. His enthusiasm is infectious, and the way he approaches the game feels like he's not just playing it, he's living it. And I'm not gonna lie, I watched him stream for hours, and by the end, I was so pumped that I had to try WoW for myself. Alright, so here's where it all started for me, the intro cinematic. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not just some cheesy cutscene, it's like watching a blockbuster movie unfold. The visuals, the music, the dramatic moments. It was a masterclass in world building. The cutscene introduces you to Azeroth, the world you'll soon call home, and it immediately pulls you in. I watched the cinematic and thought, wait, this isn't just a game. This is an experience. Suddenly, Azeroth felt like a place I had to explore. And here's the thing, if you've ever played a game and gotten hooked from just the opening sequence, then you know the feeling. It's like being invited into a world that's rich with history, filled with danger, and brimming with untold stories. I had to know more. Now let's talk about the character creation process. I won't lie, this part was overwhelming at first. I was looking at all these different races and classes, humans, night elves, dwarves, orcs. There's just so much to choose from. I mean, there are literally dozens of ways you can customize your character. At first I thought, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna pick something random and hope for the best. But after watching Asmongold play, I realized that choosing the right character isn't just about picking something cool. It's about choosing something that fits your playstyle. Do you want to be a tank, taking the hits for your team? Or do you want to be a mage, blasting enemies from a distance with powerful spells? Or maybe you're more of a rogue, sneaking around and dealing devastating critical hits when no one sees you coming? Asmongold's stream made me realize how much depth there is in the game's character options. He didn't just play for the sake of leveling up, he carefully picked his character based on how he wanted to approach the game. This attention to detail made me rethink how I was going to build my own character. Eventually I settled on a night elf hunter. Yeah, I know, I went for the classic choice, but hey, it felt right for me. So now that I had my character, I dove straight into the game. The first few hours were a bit of a blur, to be honest. I was learning the controls, trying to figure out where I was supposed to go, and this is the part I think a lot of new players struggle with, getting used to the pace of the game. But here's the thing, WoW isn't like a lot of other games. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Watching Asmongold made me realize that. He was always so calm and methodical in his approach to missions and fights. It wasn't about rushing through the content, but about enjoying the journey. The quest system, genius. At first it feels like a bunch of random tasks, but slowly you start to piece together the bigger story of Azeroth. Every quest has purpose, and every character you meet plays into the rich lore of the world. And the world itself? Huge. I remember walking out into the first major zone and thinking, okay, this is what it feels like to explore a living, breathing world. There's a sense of scale that's hard to explain unless you've been there yourself. Then, of course, there's the combat. This is where things really started to click for me. The first few fights were a little chaotic, sure, but as I got more into it, I started to understand the strategy behind everything. Every ability has its purpose. Every fight requires a little bit of thought, especially when you're facing tougher enemies. I'll never forget the first time I got into a fight with a real boss. The adrenaline, the strategy, the coordination, it all felt like a real team effort even though I was playing solo. And watching Asmongold play gave me that sense of excitement. He wasn't just going through the motions, he was fully invested in every fight. And that's what I realized WoW is really about, moments. It's not about mindlessly grinding, but about having these epic experiences that stick with you. Whether it's taking down a difficult boss or exploring a dangerous dungeon, the feeling of accomplishment is what keeps you coming back. So after my first few hours in Azeroth, here's my take. WoW is good. And I don't mean just good in the casual sense. I mean, it's genuinely great. The world is massive and immersive. The lore is rich and captivating, and there's so much to discover that I feel like I'll never truly finish the game. But beyond the game itself, one of the most surprising parts was the community. WoW's community is massive, and it's unlike anything I've seen in other games. There's a sense of camaraderie, especially in the more challenging content. You can feel the collective investment in making the game fun, and that's something Asmongold really showed through his streams. He wasn't just playing the game, he was sharing it with everyone, and it made me feel like part of something bigger. Watching him interact with his chat, helping new players, sharing tips, it really opened my eyes to the social side of WOW that I never appreciated before. If you're someone who loves being part of a gaming community, WOW is a goldmine. So to sum it up, watching Asmongold totally changed how I see World of Warcraft. It wasn't just the epic cinematics or the battles, it was the way he made the game come alive. And now I'm hooked. If you're on the fence about whether or not to give WoW a try, I'd say don't wait any longer. Dive into Azeroth, create your character, and start your own adventure. Whether you're in it for the story, the raids, or just to explore the vast world, World of Warcraft has something for everyone. And hey, if you're new to WoW like I was, drop a comment and let me know your character picks. Let's team up and take on some quests together. Who knows, maybe we'll cross paths in the game soon. Asmongold made me want to play, and now it's your turn. See you in Azeroth.